Previously on Destiny.
The universe makes us all victim and perpetrator of its infinite cruelty. You, more than any, suffer both fates. Be free.
The Witness, such a maniacal, twisted entity. Their very presence has thrown the Sol system into a semi-collapse-like state, with the Traveler at risk since the grand entrance of the Black Edge. The Vanguard and Guardians of the Last City have struggled to gain a foothold over the situation. We could not prevent the Veil from connecting to the Traveler, and despite our paracausal nature, a way through the extra-spacial portal in the Traveler's Shell remains inaccessible. Welcome back, Guardians. My name is Samlab. Today I will share my thoughts on why the Witness will fail to bring an end to the life in Sol, and the wider universe to a standstill. What the Witness is doing, however, I couldn't tell you. There is little information in-game and within lore giving us a clear idea. During my research, I found a noteworthy audio log from Imaru. Have a listen.
Your ghost said the Traveler's been quiet lately. That's not exactly true. I think he's sparing you the details. The Witness is doing something terrible to it. I can sense it in my light. Listen, imagine your god spoke to you, and all it did was scream for help. Yeah. It's kinda like that.
Something terrible is happening to the Traveler, and whatever it is, Guardian ghosts are able to sense this emotion emanating from our spherical entity. An aspect of this information that I find fascinating is why hasn't there been indication of this? Surely as Guardians, we should sense a disturbance in the flow of light itself, in the same way as all Guardians felt when the access to the light had been cut off when Dominus Gaul caged the Traveler. How were the Witness people able to gain such phenomenal amounts of paracausal power in the first place? As Guardians, we have gone toe-to-toe with literal gods within the universe of Destiny. There are some brief lore entry examples of Guardians being able to use the light to heal or shield humanity, Elixni and even Cabal from harm's way. An end, an epilogue, a finale to an extraordinary cosmic collision to the end of the Light and Darkness saga. A bittersweet moment, perhaps. Many threads of story still hang in the balance, waiting to be sewn into the wider story of Destiny at large. The intent of the Witness has been made clear. It does not divine the universe in current form to be viable or balanced. The truth of the matter is that the Witness believes the Traveler to be the main cause of the problem of life and death in the universe. But is that really all there is to it? Frantically, I had been searching for a lore entry that I believe paints us a clearer picture of motive for the Witness, and why and how the end will be. Have a listen to this armament lore entry titled Tessellation.
Once, nothing became something. There was a game of possibility. Patterns emerged that could, would, flourish or fail, wax or wane. And in the gaps between, there was nothing. But nothing is an absence. defined by all the things that might one day be and yet never find fruition. It is an entropy of existence. For nothing to become, something is as simple as a flipped bit, a chance mutation, a fallen leaf. Once it has become, it has always become. For castles are less fragile when built by something than nothing. Something grows and grown. It is seen. Once something became something else. There were a people of potential and promise, of galvanizing growth. By their tools, their grand intention, the happenstance alignment of infinite years and atoms were a sculptor's clay. That which became the finest of statuary, purpose carved from meaninglessness, the chance generation of the universe crafted into beauty, intentionality. That which served no reason ceased, randomness edible by the sculptor's art. Something changes, and changed it continues. Once something will become nothing. There are beings who plant their intention and say so far, no further. The bulwarks and the bastions, the stubborn flower that will defy even stone. In these hands, possibility is a single-minded tool. Resolution, pursuit, obliteration. What potential lies in empty space? All that dies is only ever transformed, abscessed and swallowed by wilderness. Return to infinite metamorphosis, to excise from that which loam of transformation requires no less than perfect certainty. Here is the secret. A plowshare and a sword have never truly differed.
Captivating, wouldn't you think? That the witness would suggest something so symmetrical, so gradient, so unusual. Honestly, for the entity so hyper-focused on delivering a silent end, this lore entry is rather poetic, and it describes something I feel doesn't get discussed enough, or often missed. It bears similarities to a couple of lore videos I did, discussing the expansive universe of Destiny, one beyond the reef, and beyond the edge of Outer Soul. The first of these was Penumbral Light. This video is an analysis of where the story of Light could be headed in Destiny. The second was a video called Lightfall First Planets. It details the origin of the prime universe within Destiny, and the birthplace of the Traveler. A lot of the work relies pretty heavily on the Book of Unveiling. While I do agree that the entries held within Unveiling are considered more allegorical, there are unique aspects to the lore book. Overall, I believe we can use this as a guide for what comes next. Have a listen to this audio log from Imaru.
The final shape, the way we think about it, it's the winner. The one who's so smart or strong that they beat everybody else. The final shape may not be the most interesting or best looking or whatever, but it's the one who makes it to the finish line again and again. It's the best at what it does. The Witness's final shape isn't like that. It's just flat. It's static. It's a forced ending, like winning a game by turning it off. Forever. Ugh. It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
According to Umaru, the witness plans to do what it has always done, allegorically by cheating. You see, even the wet loam of possibility, when the gardener and the winnower played a game, the winnower would always look for a way to subvert or subjugate the outcome of each game, and the gardener detested this with all its being. Unlike the nine, the witness doesn't extend to make new worlds of anything, but simply to bring all things that ever were to one final, complete standstill. This is something Savathun had even discussed with Ziva Arath. Well, or should I say a message she had left for her younger sibling. Have a listen to this audio log.
Oh, sister, look at how far we've come. I was always destined to become a queen, and you a knight. Just like that facile human game you like so much. Knights are so powerful there, agile and unpredictable. But there's only a thin line between the knights and the pawns. Do you know which side you're on? Ah, now the witness. There's a king with vision. It has an end in mind, and it knows what that means. Your game has always been the attack and trade, the thrill of victory and the agony of retreat. When the means is violence, you're happy to no end. But this game isn't fought to the last knight standing, or even the queen. It ends when the king has no moves left. Not endless fighting, but the end of fighting. Listen to me go on. You've got other problems wherever you are. You've been locked out of your own castle. Mortal for the first time in millennia. As someone recently back from the dead, I sympathize. But before you move to retaliate, just check. What will it mean to be a knight after the game has ended?
This recording by Savathun is exciting. Here's why. She uses the example of a chessboard with kings, queens, knights, bishops, and pawns, with a line drawn between being a pawn or a knight. Savathun is suggesting to Ziva Arath that the witness simply used her as one of its pawns, after making false promise, and that perhaps she should re-examine her logic and realize it was ultimately flawed. In every outcome, Ziva Arath has in fact been the loser in this game, between the light and dark. The witness had absolutely zero intention of elevating Zivu beyond her use. This is something that Savathun learned quite quickly. While the witness did have a plan, it is ultimately a bad one, and one that has a small margin of error hidden within it. This is heavily speculative territory we are entering. It ultimately believes that it is infinite wisdom, that by forcefully stopping everything, that will be the end. It is my understanding, however, that even in that belief, there is a limitation to this perspective, as it has been established that the universe ebbs and flows in a circuitous fashion. Think of it like a sacred timeline. This timeline of light continually functions in a loop. Let's assume that every so often, a billion years in the life cycle of the universe, there are points of interest, and each point is where the light and dark collide. There is a rebirth. Multiple fixed points in time, where a form of light and darkness will enter a game and will clash. There are a couple of questions that would need to be asked. 1. Who set the sacred timeline in motion? And 2. How do we know there are multiple lights? While I can't fully answer the first question, the second is simple to answer. Guardians are able to wield different spectrums in the prism of light. Right now, we only have access to 5 of them. A good deal of lore entries discuss or even suggest this idea. Even the Drifter's ghost is able to tap into different spectrums of light. Potentially, this makes him one of the most dangerous light bearers in the Last City. How it works, I don't know. What is known, though, is the Drifter used parts of other ghosts to modify his, and survive the frozen wilds of alien planets way outside the Sol system. As long as there is darkness, there will most certainly always be light, and those who stand for truth and justice. While humanity has a lot of enemies, there are far more who stand with them than those against them. Now that Xivu Arath has got the short end of the stick, the Witness cannot count on her to deliver a final blow in the last battle. Taken and Scorn will certainly be sent to get in the way of stopping us from ruining the Witness's plans. Whatever the case may be, Guardians, Elixni, Cabal, and even Awoken stand united, ready to face the oncoming storm and raise a banner toward the light. Remain steadfast, Guardians. Remember that darkness has no power over you, but only that which you give it. For the true light of hope will always burn brighter and brighter. For now, that's all I have for you. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, be sure to leave a comment below, click the bell and subscribe to find out when my next video goes live. Remember that no matter what you're facing at this moment in time, you can do all things. Stay safe and Godspeed.